Today we are going to discuss about gross features of the stomach. Let me ask you a question. Which is the most dilated part of the alimentary canal? So the answer is stomach is the most dilated part of the alimentary canal. Where is the location of stomach? It is located in the epigastrium, umbilical and left hypochondrial region. What is the capacity of the stomach? It has capacity of about 1 liter in adults and 30 ml per kg body weight in children. So, coming to the shape of the stomach, normally it is J-shaped, as you can see here. Having long vertical part and a short horizontal part. Now the position and shape varies depending upon the tone of the abdominal muscles, contents and respiration. Let us discuss about parts of the stomach. Now at the junction of the left margin of the esophagus, this is the esophageal end we say, this is the pyloric end, the anterior surface and posterior surface. Okay. So at the junction of the left margin of the esophagus with the greater curvature of the stomach, there is a deep cardiac notch. So this is the deep cardiac notch of the stomach. Now, because of the upward convexity of the adjoining part of the greater curvature, a part of the stomach lies above the level of cardioesophageal junction. So this part of the stomach is known as fundus. Okay, so this is the fundus of the stomach. The upper part of lesser curvature, so this is the lesser curvature, right? The upper part of the lesser curvature faces to the right, while its lower part it faces upwards. The junction of these two parts of the curvature is often marked by a notch which is known as incisura angularis. So this is actually the region of the incisura angularis. Okay. Now part of the stomach to the right of the incisura angularis, this is known as the pyloric part of the stomach. So this pyloric part of the stomach, it consists of a dilated part which is known as pyloric antrum and a narrower part is known as pyloric canal. Now let us look at the presenting parts of the stomach. So you have to remember, between the junction of the upper part of the lesser curvature and lower part of the lesser curvature, there is a notch which is known as incisura angularis. To this right we have pyloric part, and to the left of this we have the cardiac part, we see the body and the fundus of the stomach. Now let us look at the presenting parts. So you have to remember two. It has two ends, two surfaces and two curvatures and two amenta and also two sphincters. Now what are the ends, orifices and sphincters of the stomach? The cranial end of the stomach, it is continuous with the esophagus. So we can see here, this is the esophageal, this is the esophagus. So the cranial end of the stomach, it is continuous with the esophagus. So this part of the stomach, it lies close to the heart. So that's why it is known as the cardiac end. So this part is known as the cardiac end of the stomach. Cardiac end of the stomach. Now the caudal end of the stomach is continuous with the duodenum. So this part is continuous with the duodenum. So this is known as the pyloric end. So it has two ends, cardiac end and the pyloric end, or simply you can say the pylorus. Okay. The orifices. At the cranial end we have the cardiac orifice, and at the caudal end we have pyloric orifice. Pyloric orifice. Coming to the sphincters. The sphincters are cardiac and pyloric sphincter. So we have two ends, cardiac end, pyloric end. Then we have two orifices, cardiac orifice, pyloric orifice. Then we have two sphincters, the cardiac sphincter and pyloric sphincter. Pyloric sphincter. Coming to the surfaces, the stomach has two surfaces. The anterior, also known as it faces anterosuperiorly, so we say anterosuperior surface. Then we have the posterior surface or the posterior-inferior surface. Let us discuss about the curvatures of the stomach. The concave, the upper border is known as the lesser curvature. The convex lower border is known as the greater curvature. So this is the greater curvature and this is lesser curvature of the stomach. Coming to the omentum. The stomach is lined by peritoneum on both sides, on both surfaces, anterior surface and posterior surface. The stomach is lined by peritoneum. Now, at the lesser curvature, the layers of the peritoneum lining the anterior and posterior surfaces. So the layers of the peritoneum lining the anterior and posterior surfaces meet and become continuous with the lesser omentum. So this is the lesser omentum. This is the lesser omentum. Now at the greater curvature, the anterior and posterior layers of the peritoneum become continuous with the gastrosplenic ligament and with the greater omentum. So lesser curvature gives attachment to the lesser omentum, greater curvature gives attachment to the greater omentum, and the peritoneum of the anterior and posterior surface continues with the gastrosplenic ligament. About anterior surface. Anterior surface is related to the left lobe and quadrate lobes of the liver and anterior abdominal wall. Whereas the posterior inferior surface, the posterior inferior surface or the posterior surface, it is covered with peritoneum of the lesser sac except at the bare area which is related to the diaphragm. So there is a structure which is known as the stomach bed. So on the posterior inferior surface of the stomach. So what are the structures which are forming the stomach bed? So left kidney, left suprarenal gland, left crus of the diaphragm, body of the pancreas, then transverse mesocolon, the left colic flexure and the splenic artery. So these are the structures which are forming the stomach bed. It is on the posterior inferior surface of the stomach. Let me tell you about the location of these orifices. Cardiac orifice, it lies at the level of lower border of T11 vertebra behind the 7th costal cartilage. 7th costal cartilage. Whereas pyloric orifice, it lies at the level of lower border of L1, that is at the transpyloric plane. So the cardiac orifice, it doesn't have sphincter on its own. The cardiac sphincter in the abdominal part of the esophagus formed by the circular muscles of the esophagus. Whereas the pyloric orifice, if you see, it is very thick, the sphincter we say. This is about the cardiac sphincter, and pyloric sphincter is very thick, formed by the circular muscles of the stomach, and also it is assisted by deep muscles of the longitudinal muscles of the stomach. Start. So what is this Traub's space? So this is an area that overlays the fundus of the stomach, and it gives tympanic node on percussion. So this space, it is obliterated in the pleural effusion, that is on the left sided pleural effusion, and hypertrophy of the liver and also the spleen. So that you should remember the Traub space. Now let us discuss about interior of the stomach. When cut open, we can see structures inside here. These are the gastric rugae. So these gastric rugae are the mucosal folds in an empty stomach. So these are the mucosal folds in an empty stomach. You can see here. So they are longitudinal along the lesser curvature, and these gastric rugae, they disappear when the stomach is distended. Okay. Now gastric pits. Gastric pits, they are small depressions in the mucosal surface of the stomach. So these are the minute openings of the gastric glands. Then we have gastric canal that is seen at the lesser curvature. So this is the gastric canal. This is the gastric canal. So this is actually a longitudinal passage between the longitudinal folds along the lesser curvature. So this canal facilitates passage of food along the lesser curvature. Okay, so this is gastric canal along the lesser curvature. These are the gastric rugae, and we have gastric pits, which are the small depressions on the mucosal surface of the stomach. So that is about the interior of the stomach. This is about the blood supply. So all the arteries supplying the stomach are derived from celiac trunk, the celiac trunk. Okay. So along the lesser curvature, within the two layers we have within the two layers of the lesser omentum we have right and left gastric arteries. So left gastric artery directly branch from the celiac trunk, whereas the right gastric artery branch from the gastroduodenal artery. Now along the greater curvature between the two layers of the greater omentum there are right and left gastroepiploic arteries. So this is left gastroepiploic artery and here we have the right gastroepiploic artery. The right gastroepiploic artery arises from the common hepatic artery, while the left gastroepiploic artery branch from the splenic artery. Now the stomach also supplied by the short gastric arteries which are the branches from the splenic artery. I have a quick recap about the stomach. This is the anatomical position of the stomach. It has cardiac end, pyloric end. It has two orifices, cardiac orifice, pyloric orifice, right? Then it has anterior surface, posterior surface. Posterior inferior surface forms the stomach bed. This is the lesser curvature and this is the greater curvature. And you should remember this is the pyloric sphincter, the pyloric canal, pyloric antrum, then it continues as the duodenum. Okay, so these are the gross features of the stomach. Thank you very much.